This one I'm calling negative images because it actually, the ink will not fill a particular area, but there's a secret. First thing I'm going to do is just like any imagined shape for a card, for whatever. I'm going to select a shape as a background. I'm going to take it in and size it for my card, or whatever I want to do. I think today I'll go with probably about a 4 on this shape. Relative size 4, true size 4. And I'm going to fill this image. You can choose any of these colors, but I'm going to go with a soft blue. And I'm going to hit apply. Now I'm going to select next, double check my settings, and print and cut. It's already set to print and cut. I'm good to go. Apply and select next. I'll be back with you in just a moment as soon as my shape is cut. Alrighty, my shape is cut, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to verify the size on this. Turn my ruler around. I love quilting rulers for this because I can get just a one-time measure. My size is actually 4 inches high by about 4.5 inches wide. Perfect. I'm going to now go to my Imagine and I'm going to simply cut a shape. And I'm going to be choosing my shape off of botanicals. Let me move to the Imagine and I'll be back. Before I actually select my shape, I want to explain to you why I measured this particular cutout. I'm going to have a cut that lays across here, and then I'm going to send it back through the Imagine to print again, and this part will show my negative image. With that, I think you'll get it as we go along. I'm back at my Imagine, and from my regular cartridges I have inserted botanicals, and I'm going to choose a particular shape. I love daisies, and I want this to be a thank you card. So I'm going to select this daisy image, and then I'm going to take and size it. I know that the bottom layer of my card is about the cross width of my card is 4.5 inches wide at its widest measurement. So I'm going to keep this under that size. I want it to be 4 inches. And I'm going to select Apply. I don't want to fill it with any colors. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to send this to the Imagine, and I'm going to select Settings. Once I've selected Settings, I'm going to go up here and change Print and Cut to Cut Only and Apply. Next, and I'll be back as soon as my image is cut. Okay, my shape has been cut. You can see it here. Now all I'm going to do is pull it away from my mat carefully, because this cut does have some pretty intricate little pieces on it. Okay. Weed it out. I need to trim that little piece off, or tear it off. Alright, there we have my cut. Get rid of the mat so you can see it just a little bit better. And what I was talking about size-wise, now I'm going to lay my cut right along the bottom margin of my card, or my mat. And you can see that it does fit within the context of my mat. You say, well, that's all fine and just, but okay, that's nothing dramatic. This is where the drama starts, and I'll be back with you in just a second. I know that for most of us, we're familiar with what they call the no-cut zone on the Cricut mats. Well, that zone comes into play when you're doing this sort of printing on your Cricut as well, on your Imagine. What I've done is I've drawn 2 lines that are 1/2 inch away from the edge of my paper. I've also very carefully aligned my paper with the green outline on my Cricut mat. What I want is I will eventually be adhering this cut to this piece of paper, and I don't want it to go into that no-cut zone. So really I should have like a red circle with a line through it. But that's going to go here. Now, what am I going to do with my daisy that I cut? I'm going to actually put it onto, adhere it to this cut before I adhere it to my mat and before I send it back to my printer. I'm going to be doing that with my handy dandy best friend called the Scotch Repositionable Glue Stick. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I've got everything adhered down to my mat, and the beauty of this, if you go to print only, it just sends your mat through one direction, so you don't really have to worry about all those little things getting caught in the backwards forwards mechanism of the machine. Let's go to the Imagine and set up for our next step. In order to set up for the coloring that's going to actually enhance our image, I'm going to go to my rounded square, and I'm going to create what would be normally a cut, but is going to be a printed shape that's approximately an inch larger than the largest dimension of my cut, my blue cut that I did earlier. That largest dimension was almost 5, so I'm going to go, it was like 4.5. I'm going to go with my natural size up to 5.5. And now I'm going to fill it with a color, let's see, so that it will enhance what I already have on my printouts and my cuts. It's blue. Let's go with a purple. A pink, I'm sorry. This is kind of a, oh, I don't know. Yeah, let's go with that one. Okay, so now we're going to take and we're going to send this to our mat. Click Next. And there we have our square. We're going to go into our settings, and we are going to set it up to print only. Print only. And apply. And now I'm going to run everything through my Imagine. Okay, it's printed out. You can see where my purple lines are, and you can see how my overspray, my underspray, whatever you want to call it, actually extends beyond that. Well, that means that I've gotten a really good coverage on what was once my blue mat. My blue mat has turned slightly purple, and you can see that my daisy has that same pink tone to it. So now I'm going to remove the daisy carefully, because I can use this again. And what I have is a shadow of that daisy on my background. Let's see if you can see it. It's really kind of cool. And so that's how we create a negative image on our Imagine. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you create wonderful and beautiful things with it. Keep making those gems. Until next time, bye.